So I just got back from shopping at Laverne's. Laverne's is a little produce market that we have local to us. And they had boxes of bananas on sale for $9 for 40 pounds. So we like to buy them when they're on sale because we can freeze them or we can dry them, and we can also have them for fresh eating. So we're going to be doing a video on how to make banana ice cream. So I wanted to show you how we freeze the bananas for the banana ice cream. Some people like to take a cookie sheet and then do like a flash freeze and then put it into bags. But we don't have a lot of space in the freezer to do something like that, especially with 40 pounds of bananas. So what I like to do is break them in half and put them flat in a bag. And that may seem wasteful because you're not filling the whole bag, but we reuse these bags, so they get used and used and used and used until they have holes in them or are unable to use. So also these peels don't go to waste, they go to the horses. And then any bad spots or whatever I like to cut out. Also at Laverne's, I got these sweet peppers, and we had just run out of peppers that we had in the freezer from last year that we had grown. So I wanted to get some more because there's these black bean burritos that I like to make, and they freeze really well as well. So the black bean burritos have sweet potato, brown rice, bell peppers, onion, and black beans. And so we'll be doing a video on how to make those as well. So I'm going to get these in the freezer, and then I will also get started on drying the other ones, because when you get these produce items at a great deal, you want to deal with them right away. So that's what I'm going to do. Titus is over at the neighbor's house helping him to repair a fence. So he has no idea that I'm doing this, but I'm sure he'll be happy about it. So we got lots to do for Sabbath. So as soon as I get these bananas ready to go in the freezer, then I'm gonna do the peppers. And we don't have power or anything here, but we have a freezer down the road that we put produce and things like that in, so that when they're not in season, we still have them available. And that helps us to live off the land and save money. Now, if you come and visit and you do go to Laverne's, you have to be careful because they are a discount produce place, and so sometimes some of the things there are not usable. So sometimes you might get something that's bad. So you just want to be mindful of that and try to pay close attention to the quality before you purchase it. They also have, I think, like a guarantee or something like that. So if you get something bad, then you can return it, but I've never tried that before. When we first got Picasso, he would not eat banana peels. He would only eat a banana. He was very pampered, and over time he's grown to like banana peels now. I'm going to take these to the freezer in this box so that it's easier to carry them. But I do like to use freezer crates. We have a deep freeze, and so with the freezer crates, you can organize things and have crates on top and crates on bottom, stack them, and then whenever you need something, you can just lift up the crate and get to the bottom. There's not like a nightmare to deal with. So I would like to put these bananas in a crate, but we're out of crates right now because we just ended up buying another freezer on used from someone. So we need crates for the other freezer at the moment. We also have another store that's local to us called Salvage Foods, and the foods are usually expired or close to their expiration date, but around here we don't care. We know that just because it has an expiration date doesn't mean that it's bad. So I've gotten canned coconut milk there for 35 cents a can, and if you don't buy what you want when you're there, it'll be gone when you go back. So if you decide to visit there, that's a good place to stop. It's right next to Sunny Valley Country Store, which is the bulk food store that's near us. So sometimes I'll buy stuff at Sunny Valley and sometimes I'll order through Azure Standard. I just compare the price and get it wherever it's cheaper. Horses are going to be really happy. As well as licorice. So I said that Titus didn't know that I was doing this, but I'm sure he'd be happy. He was wanting me to get one banana box, but I decided to get two because they were such a good deal, and because he wanted one banana box so that we could dry them and have fresh ones. But I noticed that we're using up the ones in the freezer pretty quickly, so I wanted to replace those, especially when they're on sale, because a 40-pound box of bananas, normal price is $28. So that's a significant savings. And if you just go when you need them and you're out of bananas in the freezer, then you may have to end up paying a lot more because you didn't plan ahead. So we try to pay attention to that stuff and stay ahead of it. And we don't have a lot of ice cream here because you have to use the Champion juicer, which takes power. And so we don't do that very often. But my children love banana ice cream. And so I make it a lot. And it's something that's really healthy that they enjoy to eat for breakfast, like eating dessert for breakfast. And I like to put peanut butter and molasses on mine. And they like peanut butter and sorghum, but we just found out that there's a new kind of molasses that we'd never had before that Titus introduced us to, called unsulfured baking molasses, and it actually seems sweeter than the blackstrap molasses, but they're like very close to the same thing. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but the unsulfured baking molasses is kind of like a cross between sorghum and blackstrap molasses, so it's a little bit sweeter. We also like to make blueberry banana ice cream, which is just 2 ingredients, bananas and blueberries. Titus has 2 big blueberry bushes out front, and we froze the blueberries that we got from there last year, and we still have some in the freezer. These 2 bushes, I'm surprised with how many blueberries they gave. It was amazing. And then we planted 150 blackberry bushes. And so we're hoping to have blackberries, probably not this year, but next year. So we're hoping to have plenty of them next year to fill the freezer with. And then we planted 1,000 ever-bearing strawberry plants, and we planted them in black plastic, but the black plastic, it was really windy one day and it came up. So when they put the black plastic down, they did the staples, I think like 3 feet apart. And when you have soft soil, you're supposed to put them about a foot apart, and because he had just plowed it, so it was soft. So that was part of the reason that it came up. So I'm not really sure how those are going to do, because the ever-bearing strawberries, they don't spread and like fill up a field like the June-bearing strawberries do. So we may have to dig those up and move them, but they're called Albion strawberries, and we planted them in September of last year, and we got strawberries on them last year, which we weren't supposed to. I told Titus, like, we need to take all these flowers off and make sure that these don't produce so that the roots can get established, they don't die in the frost. And he's like, oh, you know, they'll frost over, we don't have to worry about that. Well, we had a very warm winter, and so we ended up getting strawberries off of these brand new plants. So that was amazing. And they were really, really good and really big. So it was a really good variety to plant. And I got them online, and I had them shipped, and I ordered them in bulk. So I ordered 1,000. So we're planning to start a U-Pick farm here so that we can support the ministry and teach people country living skills and feed people that come to visit. So pray for us that that will be successful. We want to plant blueberry bushes and raspberry bushes, but we have not had a chance to do that yet. There's a man that owns Martin's Produce, and he has ever-bearing raspberry plants, and so that's the kind that we want to get. So Jonah and I tried to do tip propagation from the raspberry plants, bushes, but that didn't work. Apparently you can't do that with raspberries, so we'll have to find a source for some ever-bearing raspberry plants. I haven't looked into that yet. And Titus is a little bit overwhelmed right now. He's got a lot to do. It's March and it's warm, and he needs to plow the fields and get ready for the crops that need to go in. So keep him in your prayers that he can get everything done he needs to do. He's also been working on the mill, and they finally got all the lumber milled that needed to be milled right away. Like, it couldn't stay there any longer or it would rot. So they finally got that done, but they still need to stack it so that it can dry. And so they worked on the house of prayer, Jonah and Titus, pretty diligently until it was dried in, and then they had to take a break from the house of prayer to work on all this lumber. So in the winter time, it's really nice to stay warm, and so since the house of prayer didn't have the wood stove and everything hooked up, they switched over to hauling firewood and cutting firewood and using the sawmill, because those activities require a lot of exercise and therefore keep you warm. So that's one reason why there's a little bit of a break on the house of prayer. But it is hard for Titus because he has the daily Bible lessons that we do, And then he also has his farm work and everything he needs to do. And then we do the extras videos. And he has lots of chores on the farm. And so it's hard to balance everything and stay on top of everything. So one thing I was thinking about doing is, in the summertime, we don't necessarily like to run the wood stove all the time because it gets hot. And Titus built porches on the trailer so that he could have a bigger wood stove for outside. The little wood stove that he had here that he used on the Peter Santinella video, he gave to Jonah for Jonah's man cave. And so we have a bigger wood stove on the back porch now. But it's not as nice as the one we have in here, and it's not as easy to control the temperature, and like, it's just completely different. It's not airtight, and it's not as easy to use. So we like to prepare ahead for summer. So some of the things that we can do in summer is eat granola, because if we make that in advance, then you don't have to fire up the wood stove like you do for oatmeal or something like that. And the other thing that I was wanting to do is have some of these black bean burritos in the freezer, because then we can just pull those out. And I'm also wanting to pressure can some beans, because if we can pressure can some beans, there's like black bean salsa and things like that that don't require any cooking if you have cooked beans. So we're planning to do a pressure canning video if I can find my pressure canner. And then we can just take the pressure canned beans, rinse them off, put them with tomatoes and peppers and onions and other seasonings, and have like a fresh salsa, and still be getting the protein that we need for the summer. If you have any other ideas of things like that that are good for the summer, just comment and let us know, because I'm looking to store things up right now. So we like to store things up for winter and store things up for summer. And I didn't grow up like this at all. My family was poor, and I grew up eating meat. But when I was 8 years old, my mom started working evening shift as a nurse. And so she gave us chores to do. And one of the chores was to cook supper. And so she would leave a list of all the steps that we had to do. And one of the jobs I had to do was defrost the meat in the microwave. And when I opened the microwave, I was horrified because there was all this like red juice all over. And I was like, what is that? That's blood? Like, Mom's been feeding us blood? What on earth? Why would she feed us blood? And so, like, from an early age, I didn't realize that, like, I was eating a dead animal. And it really, like, shocked me when I had to cook it myself. And so, after that, my mom started, like, listening to me, which I really appreciate. And so she would make things like hamburger helper, and she wouldn't put the hamburger in it. Or she would make chili, and then she would make a pot with meat and a pot without meat so that I didn't have to eat the meat. But I still ate meat, but just not like on a regular basis. Plus, meat was expensive anyway, so it wasn't something that we had all the time. But when I moved out when I was 18 and went away to college, I didn't want to cook that stuff, and so I didn't. So I gave up meat, and that was really easy for me to give up because I thought it was disgusting. So, and I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh yes, I said I didn't grow up doing this. So, like, we didn't have enough money to buy things in advance to store them up or things like that. Never even thought about it. My grandma had canned when my mom was little, but my mom, the only thing that she canned was tomatoes. So it was rare, like we didn't have a garden or anything, so it was really rare for me to even see my mom can tomatoes. But when I was probably 25, I'm 39 now. So when I was 25, I called my mom and I said, okay, like, I know you know how to can tomatoes and I've read a bunch of stuff about it, but I need you to coach me and walk me through it. So I never canned anything in my life, never seen anything canned in real life, but she walked me through it and I just loved canning. And so from there, I just canned everything I could get my hands on. So, and I was poor, and as a mother, we didn't have much money. And so I tried to do everything I could to try to save money because I had a limited amount to spend per month on groceries. And so I wanted to stretch it, but yet still be healthy. So I would buy produce when it was on sale. So like one year I bought 700 mangoes, and like that's a lot, you know. It's not cheap to buy 700 mangoes, but there was a member in my family that had some health issues, and so they were trying to not eat sugar. And so in order to keep from having the medical bill, I decided to start making healthy food. And so this family member could have mango sauce on pancakes instead of syrup. And so it was a trade-off between syrup for something like healthy and whole foods. So I canned these mangoes and into mango sauce, and I ended up actually getting almost like carpal tunnel in my wrists from it, from cutting all those mangoes and everything. But it was really good, and I'd never liked mangoes before, and I'd never really had them. I had ones that weren't really good. And so with having 700 mangoes, you're able to taste them and find really, really good ones. So that's why I learned that I liked mangoes. And then we went and picked blueberries, and then I canned blueberry sauce, and then we used that also as like a syrup replacement. And I did the same thing with strawberries and made a strawberry sauce. Some of these bananas, it's hard to tell what to do with them. I even canned bananas one time because I watched a YouTube video and I wanted to try it out. I canned lots of salsa because we don't eat vinegar, and so it's not very easy to find vinegar-free salsa, which there's this one brand called Herdez, and then there's another one at Aldi that doesn't have vinegar, but it's really rare to find salsa without vinegar. So I canned a lot of salsa, and I canned a lot of tomatoes, and I canned a lot of tomato sauce and pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce, and because I wanted to control the ingredients, and I could get organic tomatoes and have canned organic tomatoes in jars. Like if I was to buy that, it'd be really, really expensive. So it was important to me to have the really good food in jars. And so when I got the opportunity to get them, then I did. The girls and I volunteered at a organic farm, and so they would occasionally give us stuff to say thank you for volunteering, and we learned a lot and had a good time. I also canned pickles because pickles is another thing that has lots of vinegar in it. So we avoid vinegar, so we use lemon juice. And if you have a recipe that calls for vinegar, think Titus is back now. But if you have a recipe that calls for vinegar, then you can replace it with half the amount of lemon juice. So if it calls for half a cup of vinegar, you can use a fourth of a cup of lemon juice because the lemon juice is more acidic. Yeah, the neighbor just brought Titus back. Annie. Annie. It's okay, it's just naughty. Why is she barking at you?
I don't know.
Annie, you be nice to Maudie. Okay, I'm almost done with these 40 pounds of bananas. And then I gotta do these peppers. I'm not really excited about the peppers because they're like these mini peppers. But these ones are like red, yellow, and orange. And they had another box that was the big bell peppers, but they were green. And I don't like the green ones. I feel like those are unripe. So I'm happy to get the multicolored peppers instead, even though it's gonna take me a lot more time to chop them. So I'm going to clean up the table, wash my hands, and switch gears. And I got a mountain of banana peels here, so I'm gonna put them in here. So that'll be easier to take to the horses. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands. Gonna be lunchtime soon, so I just put the soup on the stove. Going to shut the back door. Now, I don't know if he wants the guts for the pepper seeds or the guts for the peppers in with the banana peels or not. So I'm going to put them separate from the banana peels. So this is 7 pounds of sweet peppers. And what I should do is freeze these in quart-sized bags because the recipe that I use for the black bean burritos calls for 2 cups of bell peppers. So now I can just grab 1 bag and have it already the right amount. And then I don't have to worry about flash freezing these or having them all stuck together in a bag and not being able to get out the amount that I want. So if you flash freeze these, then they won't stick together in your bag and then you can just measure it out. But that's a lot of work and requires a lot of cookie sheets for this number of peppers. So it's easier for me to just freeze them in the 2-cup increment. It's so much easier to cut the big peppers. But I don't like green peppers, so I think they're fine, but I think that they're unripe, and unripe food is not really good for you. And I think that the colored ones are more flavorful.
Oh, you've been working hard.
So I went to Laverne's and I got 2 banana boxes.
Oh, wow.
One to freeze and one for drying and fresh.
What a go-getter you are.
And then they had these peppers, and since I didn't have any peppers in the freezer.
Are you actually doing
Yeah,
a how-to video?
I did.
Wow. So are you going to put it on the Hazy Creek House of Pet channel?
You mean the extras?
Yeah. Or the, yeah, the extras.
We'll see.
We'll see. What would keep you from doing that?
I don't know.
You really need to put it on. You're teaching other women how to do things that they don't know how to do. Think about the little girls that are 15, 16 years old and they don't know how to do this. And then
I didn't know how to do any of it either.
And then they go on YouTube and they watch you and then they learn how to do it. And then think of the women out there that they're gonna copy. Like they're gonna start dressing nice.
Did you get all the fencing done that you needed to do?
No. They wanted me to do more, but I told them, well, you know, I would like to do more, but I got so much to do here, so.
Yeah.
I guess,
When are you going to watch
so did
it?
you put a microphone on?
No.
You think the sound quality is going to be good?
We'll find out.
Well, we used to do lessons without microphones.
That's true.
And I was standing all the way over there
That's true.
without a microphone.
I didn't know if these should go with that or not.
Yeah, you could put it in the Great Heart will eat.
Okay.
They'll be so delighted that the horses will be so delighted to have all everybody in that field.
Yeah. We need to. I think there's some in there. This one box was more ripe than the other one. So I think that there's.
Do you know where Monty is?
No, he came in here and put down his water, and then I don't have a clue.
He might have been to the outhouse.
Okay, so these tops, I was going to come back through and cut the extra stuff off.
So let me show you something that might be more.
You're going to cut it in half.
It's probably faster. So I cut it in half and then just rip it out.
Okay.
But if you want to do it that way, that's how you like to do it. You don't have to do it my way. Are you hungry, Monty?
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
Not yet, but that's fine. I didn't put the rice on. I don't know if there's. Oh, I was trying to cut sweet potatoes when I got here, but then I forgot.
Oh, to put some on to cook?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to do that before Sabbath, right?
Yes. So, should I deal with the sweet potatoes, or should I try to work on the lumber?
Are you talking about for Sabbath?
Yeah.
If you want to just go through here and tell me which ones to dry and which ones not to,
Okay.
then I think that I can handle everything else.
With as ripe as they are.
There's some that I thought weren't ripe.
Okay.
You see the ones in that one corner?
Isn't that strange?
That some would be ripe and
Like,
some not.
normally they're all kind of about all the same ripeness. It must be the Lord's blessing. Okay.
And the ones that are up there, I assume are done drying.
Say that again.
The tray that's up there, I think it's probably done drying.
Yes. Yep. Yep. It's definitely ready. Ready to go.
I just hope that those unripe ones don't end up being like those ones that had a hard time ripening, or maybe they just didn't ripen very good because they were in the back room.
All these, I don't think these will be that way.
I looked at the avocados, but I didn't think that they were good. So I didn't get any. And the grapefruit were $1.19 each, so I didn't get any of those either.
I think we could probably handle these, and then if we can't keep up with them,
And we'll dry them.
then we can do something with them at a later date. Okay. How soon do you think you would be hungry for lunch?
Oh, we can eat right now, it's fine.
Okay. Alright, I will go and find Jonah.
I think I'll go and run these to the freezer
Okay.
since they're already ready to go.
If Jonah is ready to eat, why don't we just eat first and take those to the...
I just don't want them to get brown or whatever. I mean, if you're going to get Jonah, it'd probably take me the same amount of time for you to get Jonah as it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, alright, well...
Here's the black bean burritos that I froze. And then if we have visitors come or need something short notice, we can just come here and grab this and throw these on the hot plate griddle thing and just have food ready. Here's the crates I was talking about. They're like a milk crate, but they're oversized, and I have them stacked here. So when you want to get something out, you can just lift the one crate and get stuff from underneath. So I highly recommend them. It makes putting things in the freezer a lot better. Okay, so I decided to take this crate out and put the bananas down here because I had some older bananas that I want used up that were down here. So I pulled the older ones out, put these new ones in here, and then these will be ready for when I need them next time. Okay, so everybody's eating lunch and they're all back to work, and I've been chopping away. When Titus came in earlier, he said to cut the pepper like this, and he's brilliant. It's actually a better idea to do that. So you cut it in half like this, and then just scrape out the insides and cut out this little top piece, and you're good to go. And I had said that I was going to freeze these in quart bags, but we don't have any quart bags. So I have to flash freeze them, which means that I put them on these cookie sheets, and I like to put something under them so they don't stick to the tray. So I have this silicone mat on both of them, and Then when they're frozen in about 24 to 48 hours, then I can just pick up that mat and they'll kind of like break apart. And it keeps it easy. If you don't have a silicone mat like that, you can use parchment paper. So as soon as I get these 2 last peppers chopped up, then I need to go take these to the freezer, and then I will bag them up once they're solid. And then I can just measure what I need when I go to make something. And I still have bananas to dry, so I'll be doing that next. I hope this inspires you to buy food in bulk and save some money. And I hope you look forward to the 2 recipes that we'll be doing in the future that include the bell peppers and the frozen bananas. Thank you for watching.
What about a carrot top? You want a carrot top? I'm not sure about it. Okay. I'll put it in there and you can decide. Oh, hello there, Licorice. Are you ready for some banana peels? Oh, yes. What about onion? No. Let's see. Oh, this is a pepper top. Would you like pepper top? Yes. Nice. What about carrot? That's a big bite. Alright, Picasso. Are you ready for some banana peels? Pull it out there. Okay, what about you? Come a little closer. Better. Oh, yes. Fantastic. Are you ready for banana peels? You ready? Now, are you going to eat an orange peel?
Lemon.
Or yes, lemon peel. He says no, I don't want that lemon peel. What about an orange peel? Orange peel? No, he doesn't want an orange peel. You want the banana peel. Hey, wasteful. Why are you being so wasteful?
I think he just maybe accidentally
Yeah,
tossed it.
I'm sorry. I think I forced it to you. You weren't being wasteful. You just dropped it. There we go. You're a messy eater. Okay, now, great heart. Are you ready for an orange peel? I mean, a lemon. Was that being picky or you just wrong? Okay, yeah, great. All right. Are you ready for a carrot top? Hard for him to deal with that. I should have torn him off the part. Here. This is easier for you to deal with. Truth, she really wants some more. Did I say about this is that nothing goes to waste? We get to eat them, and the horses get to enjoy them as well. Well, before we call an end to this time, I'd like to sing a song called "Great Is Thy Faithfulness." We just want to thank our Heavenly Father for His blessings, giving us plenty of hay, plenty of food. We're thankful that spring is around the corner. Lady, you have not learned to appreciate banana peels yet. I'm hoping see, Great Heart is named as originally not banana peels, but it was acquired taste.
Same with pecan.
Yeah, same with possum. So many of you may not like sweet potatoes, or you may not like turnips, or you may not like beets, or you may not like healthy food, but just like the horses, the taste buds change and they acquire a taste for it. You can too. Just take some of the time. We're thankful for the house of prayer. We are very busy with this time of year. With soon we'll be plowing the garden. Lately we have been sawing logs on the sawmill. That we want to get those sawn before they get more rotten. And so we have not had the time to work up there that we'd like to. But slowly but surely, by God's grace, with His blessing, we'll get it done. Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars and their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and a peace that mine own dear friend, and to guide, strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine with 10,000 beside. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. You're a good boy, Picasso. Well, good girl, Truth. Oh, come over here and look at her teeth. See how she's missing a tooth there? She's losing her baby teeth. When they're 5 years old, they get all their adult teeth in. And so, based on her teeth here, she's a 3-year-old. I miss her. Yep. She's like one of the most affectionate goats I've ever seen. Hey. She didn't hurt me, but she did a little nip, and so she wants to be dominant, and so she bit here, but Bear is the only one that she had a hard time. She can be a little bit sassy. I'm very thankful to the Lord for horses He's given me, and I want to say thank you for all the people that have helped with the house. We plan to, by God's grace, continue teaching people and encouraging them to live a happy, healthy life in accordance with what we see in God's Word in the Bible. Just want to invite anyone who, if you want to come here, especially Sabbath, it's the best day to visit. And we always have plenty of very simple, healthy food. We have a Bible study. Sometimes a walk in the woods or down the road with the horses. And I appreciate all of you